Kaylee Repke, Jalen Godin, Kayla Duke, Hannah Porto, Kelsey Rogers, and Jasmine Foster. A couple of Team USA members competing for the $10,000 total purse. Sierra Golden, Paige Patrick, Jada Parker, Alyssa Roan, and Hannah Hawley, as Bells continues to lead Team Illini. Here we're just about a third of the way through this one, 15 down.
Both teams are in a rhythm, though. You know, they're getting good tags in, keeping it the same pretty much every lap. But I guess the Illini are starting to close that gap just a little bit.
They certainly are. Here into the transition, the Illini deficit has closed way down, but Cassie Gurdon not interested in hearing about that. She's going to stretch things back out, and a huge push from Gurdon to Detro. And on the men's side, Ashton Hale, Lucas Kisulek, Graham Holland, Daniel Gill, Gabriel Lyons, James Sadler, Colton Miller, David Meyer, Herbie Harbison III, Dustin Hebson, Aiden Saylor, Alex Scott, Justin Stelly, Josh Simus, and Marquivas Humphrey. So a lot of young talent on display, even coming from this 13 to 16-year-old age division.
There's some fast kids.
Lainey Jackson, Michaela Rinnick out on the floor right now, and they will be there as well, getting to see what it's all about, racing against the likes of Kelsey Rogers and Jasmine Foster, as Illini wanted to make the move, couldn't quite get around Bindula. But as we're right around the halfway point, 20 down, 25 to go, and there is no separation from these two teams. And that 8-minute mark from 2019 definitely in jeopardy.
Yeah. This is a steady pace. It's a fast pace.
The rate they're going, both of these teams might come in under 8 minutes.
These matchups are going to start to become important here. There's the Bells lead.
So Bindula back in front for Bells. And there is Gurdon. I believe that is Rinnick giving chase. So
it's a good
Jackson here. Jackson matching up with Detro. She made a lot of the progress when the Illini took the lead briefly there a few laps ago.
Yeah.
And simultaneous transitions there. And half a second separating these two teams after 25 laps
still a lot of
racing.
Skating to go.
So a long way to go still.
Buddy, I just get tired just watching. It's the shape that they're in for something like this.
Because just because you're not on the track racing doesn't mean you get a break. Have to time things, manage your position on the floor, get across, get through into those yellow cones.
Yep.
And then work your way around, speed back up to match the pace of your teammate. And now
Bells is falling back a little bit.
This cycle through, the Illini turned it on, and Bells starting to show some fatigue. So 15 laps to go, and
Gurdon's going to have to make up some ground here. She will.
Illini
She's going to go.
Looking very strong. Cassie Gurdon going to need to close that gap against Michaela Rinnick. And Lainey Jackson now out there. Lauren McMahon, their teammate.
Lainey Jackson's impressive.
All these Illini skaters have been coached so well. Their form looks the same. They're really hard to tell apart.
They really are.
But Bells closed down the gap on that last lap. See if Gurdon can cut into it further. Quick feet, though, for the Illini skaters. 12 laps to go. So just less than a third of the race is left.
This is where the Illini start to... Lainey Jackson's just so fast. And she doesn't look like she's moving that fast, but she really is.
Smooth and easy for the Illini.
There's a late tag there.
And that's part of the strategy too. Do you tag early or late? Depends on the strength of the skaters involved, right? You want your fastest skater to work as much of the transition lane as possible.
Exactly.
And your slower skaters, or if someone's not feeling great, you want to get the tag in right past that first orange cone you saw there. You got to get the tag in between the cones. They're surrounding the start-finish line. Under 10 to go. Team Illini, they've pulled ahead. And the pace has actually kind of dropped off as Bell's Speed Club has fallen off the pace and stopped pushing a stumble there, but still a good push for the Illini. The record still attainable, but they might have to pick it up a little bit, see if that's something they're thinking about, or if they just want to cruise to this gold medal. As we see, there's our second place team. That's Bell's Speed Club. Bindula giving it everything she has, so she's not done.
No.
And Bell's Speed Club,
Gurdon will get one.
Coming right back here too. 4 laps to go.
Let's do it.
Now.
Let's do it. Hey, we went 45 laps. Let's make it good, right?
Bell's Speed Club
needs
getting closer and closer. See if Detro can hang on. And
so
Jackson.
fast.
Final lap. Here's Bindula one more time. What does she have left? She gave a huge push last time. The crowd going wild for these two teams.
This is it.
Bindula closing in.
Here we go.
Gurdon. What does Gurdon have left? There's the burst from Gurdon. Bells versus 45 left.
Oh, she passed her. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
To the line. And
yes.
Going to be Bell's Speed Club by a wheel. 45 laps. And we are separated.
That's what we wanted.
1/100ths of a second, the late charge from Bell's Speed Club. Cassie Gurdon anchoring them home.
That just makes me so happy that it was just an amazing race like that.
What a job by both of those teams. Bell's Speed Club, we counted them out about the 12 lap mark, and we were wrong.
Man, that was so fun. If we're going to do the 45 laps, they need to end like that. That was so good.
They certainly do. The agony of defeat.
You know,
Team Illini, but a well-run race. Nothing for those ladies to be ashamed of.
Some of those Bells girls, you could tell they didn't quit, and then so they saw that their teammates were skating hard, and they're like, all right, let's go for it.
Even from our camera position up here at the top of the stands, you could see Kendra Bindula.
They were getting tired.
Just driving. You saw the grimace on her face around the turn. So what
and there's the record
finish.
Sound for they rang the bell for the record.
Did, but that's not lining up with what we have, the information we have. So we'll get an official ruling on that. I don't know if the sound was for the record or if he was just making noise because he's so excited by that finish.
Well, that used to be the record sound.
So,
but that was just an amazing race. So much fun. Even though, you got two teams out there and it's 45 laps and you think it's just, they stayed consistent. It was relatively close the entire time, and then they started to get tired a little bit, and then there was some buildup, and then Bells just didn't quit. They could have, and they didn't. And that was impressive to see them really just push back, and that was a lot of fun.
That was a fantastic 45 lap race from the 13 to 16-year-old ladies. What do the men have in store for us? Much more crowded field over here on the men's side of the 13 to 16-year-old division. There's a Bell Speed Club team out there in the blue helmets. Braden Jones, Kyle Colott, Jet Schaefer, Infinity Racing, putting a team out there. Hunter Meek, Peter Gale, and Jaden Roberts. They're wearing the red helmets. Skater's Choice, Kenyon Augustine, Jaden Coleman, and our man Miles Mead.
The man that's always behind you. He's always behind you.
And Stallions Racing, Braden Bennett, Chance Heisler, and Jesse Smith. In the purple helmets, Team Illini going to run Luke Armstrong, Ashton Hale, the youngster who has qualified for the Race of Champions, and Donovan Dietrich. And then champions, putting Andrew Curtis and Graham Holland out there along with Lucas Sims. So Ashton Hale, Graham Holland, both going to be competing in the main event, the Race of Champions, and they're going to be leading their teams out here in the 13 to 16-year-old three-man 4,500 relay. As starters making their way up to the starting line. Other two racers stay right there waiting for their cue to proceed to the transition area. that team of Augustine, Coleman, and Meade for Skaters' Choice looks very good, as does the Infinity Racing team. Gale and Roberts and Hunter Meek added to the mix.
I like this Champions team, though. I was bummed when they got it. One guy fell in the two-man.
I believe it was Curtis.
They just couldn't finish.
Yeah, so Curtis and Holland joined by
what these guys got in the three-man.
Sims, and there you go. Josh Ingram calls it early as the champions out in front for the beginning. Now Sims running the second leg, and there goes the Skaters' Choice. I believe that is Coleman. And there's Miles Meade out in front now for Skaters' Choice. So Meade leading the way, handing things back off to Augustine. So Skaters' Choice and Champions out in front. Infinity Racing running in third. We haven't even gone 5 laps.
Wow.
And this has already proven itself to be an exciting race as Skaters' Choice now. The matchup there between Coleman and Sims going to be one to watch as Coleman puts Meade into a good spot. And he passes off to Kenyon Augustine. So Skaters' Choice and Champions still running 1-2. Infinity Racing in third. And the Skaters' Choice gap widening as there's no weak link on that team. Augustine, Coleman, and Meade, the men from Pensacola.
They've got a solid team across the board.
They certainly do, and Champions now mounting a bit of a comeback.
Yeah,
so Holland,
they're going to keep it close.
Curtis,
this Infinity team's not gone away, and this Stallions team, I mean, they're back there in fourth, but they're kind of putting together some nice tags, and they're keeping themselves at least respectable at this point.
Yes, the Stallions in purple running fourth, so things stretching out here as we're about a third of the way through the race. So the middle section of the race coming up, the real grind of this 45 lapper. You got to stay focused, got to stay fast through these middle 15 laps.
Yep.
Make sure you don't make any kind of catastrophic mistake. Champions running in second. You see there is Lucas Sims, and there are your leaders. Coleman passing things off to Meade.
Meade is so consistent. Skaters' Choice looks good, so does Champions.
They sure do, right together. The top 4 all kind of stretched out at the moment, but Champions refusing to let the elastic break with Skaters' Choice. They keep clawing their way back and never letting that Skaters' Choice team you see there get comfortably ahead.
Yeah. This is where one gets made up here. Champions gain some ground on that leg.
They did.
Still a lot of racing left.
There sure is.
And there's skaters all over the floor.
Infinity all over the floor.
The 3-person has so many moving
skaters
parts
floating around out there. 6 of them going full speed at any given time, and trying to make the transition.
And 6 of them trying to like cross while people are going full speed still.
So at any given point, there are 6 skaters cruising off to the side like you saw there.
Oh, one down, Stallion down. They got right back up.
Full speed, and 6 skaters speeding up to match as there are Lucas Sims again for the second running Champions team. So Sims doing his job, just trying to hang on to Jaden Coleman on his matchup leg. And then Meade over to Kenyon Augustine. Whistle starting to blow now as our leaders pass the Stallions team. That Stallions team has dropped to 6th after the fall. So Bell's Speed Club now running in 5th. Haven't checked in with the blue helmets in a while. They're in 5th. Looking like they might make a run at Team Illini for 4th. But the podium remains the same. As you see, there is Skaters' Choice. They're going to bring that battle for 4th into view with us here as they overtake Bell's Speed Club. there in the blue helmet. So Bells is running 5th. Trouble there as he was trying to get out of the way of the leader and went a little too high up into the wall.
Yeah.
So Skater's Choice dominating. Champions. Looks like the elastic might have finally broken
a little bit.
15 laps to go.
Skater's Choice just hasn't made any mistakes yet. They're all 3 still pushing. They're just all 3 fast.
But we counted out Bell's Speed Club on the women's race at about this point, and they ended up coming back and giving us a fantastic finish for the win. So Skater's Choice needs to keep moving forward to avoid letting Champions back into it. Miles Mead on the track for Skater's Choice. The lead continuing to grow. Skater's Choice now. That is 3rd and 4th, just in front of the Skater's Choice team. So 3rd place Infinity Racing in red. Actually, they've dropped to 4th, so that Illini team in purple just ahead of Skater's Choice is now running 3rd. Them right there in the purple helmets, they are running 3rd, so Skater's Choice now taking laps on